I got married to my enemy. On the first night, we ended up in bed together. I thought we'd go our separate ways after that unexpected incident, but it seems like he's starting to fall for me. Dakota Gardner was drunk and acting inappropriately. Age group Miss Curtis was sexually harassed. Suspected footage of Miss Gardner and Mr. Pineda spending the night together at the L Hotel. Gardner family and Pineda family may be joining in marriage. The reports from the capital media flooded in, revealing a series of sensational news about the wealthy elite. At L Hotel, in the luxurious presidential suite, Dakota pushed Curtis into the bathroom, turning on the shower, soaking both of them completely. Water vapor filled the air. An atmosphere of intimacy lingered. Curtis grasped her waist, the prominent bones and faintly visible veins showcasing his ultimate restraint. Dakota. His back pressed against the tiled wall, chin slightly raised, allowing droplets to flow down the contours of his brow and eyes, rolling off his lips and into the hollow of his collarbone. Wake up. If you keep this up, his voice hoarse as he warned her. I'm not planning to play by the rules tonight. Dakota stumbled slightly, her intoxication making her dizzy. She lifted her face in confusion, her eyes glinting like hooks, looking as if they were dewy roses after the rain. Not planning to play by the rules? Dakota's tipsy eyes sparkled with mischief. Since when have you ever played by the rules? Curtis's throat tightened. He was on the brink of desire, switching the water to cold, trying to regain the reason that was almost captured in the absurdity of the night. But Dakota was not very compliant. She reached out, gently brushing over his rolling Adam's apple, suddenly rising on her toes to kiss him. The moment her soft lips touched his, Curtis felt his mind go blank, his ears burning red. As if a surge of electricity had severed his long-held restraint. He tilted his head back in despair, closing his eyes. The rolling Adam's apple was wild and untamed, the enchanting atmosphere vibrating in the air. Curtis let out a low sigh. It seemed that in the end, she couldn't escape this entanglement. One could even say she fell in just a second. Curtis lowered his head in resignation to look at her, but just before kissing her, he still checked several times with concern. Dakota, do you see who I am? Curtis. What? Curtis. Dakota suddenly woke up, her eyes flying open. The room was a mess. Clothes were scattered on the floor, along with water stains from the bathroom. Even the carpet's color was darkened, everything reminding her of last night's madness. At that moment, an arm suddenly wrapped around her waist. Dakota's heart raced as she turned her head, and there it was, the face she would love to shove into a toilet at any sight. Curtis was still asleep. The blanket had almost been completely taken by Dakota, leaving only a lonely corner draped over his waist. He lay on his side. His arm was casually draped over Dakota's waist. His half-naked body, with its toned abs and scratch marks, was glaringly visible to Dakota because of the lack of covers. Realizing what had happened last night, Dakota was filled with shame and anger. She hurriedly pushed Curtis away and sat up, clutching the blanket tightly around her body. Her beautiful eyes were red with shame and anger, glistening with unshed tears. Slap. The crisp sound of a slap echoed in the air. Dakota raised her hand and delivered a stinging slap to Curtis's rebellious-looking handsome face. Pineda. With tearful eyes filled with fury, she glared at him. Even though we've been rivals for years, I never expected you would use such a despicable method to get back at me. The vibrant and beautiful painter Dakota is facing off against the arrogant and rebellious elite of J City, Curtis. The proud and pure wolf dog is firmly controlled by the spoiled young lady, turning the king into a love-struck jealous man. A tale of childhood sweethearts who marry first and fall in love later, embodying the playful dynamic of adversaries who openly bicker yet secretly showcase their deep affection. Let's ship Curtis Pineda and Dakota Gardner.